I wasn't sure if the camera was going to record. Well, that's weird. Oh, goodness. Some of my cards are facing the wrong way. Is it just this one? I'm confusion. Anyway, the first card I'm seeing here is Go At It Alone. And then I'm seeing Teach Them to Respect You. You can and you will. You may be pulling back your energy from certain nouns, people, places, or things. And you may be going through a time of weakness, but Spirit wants you to know that you can go at it alone, and you need to stick this out to teach the situation, the noun, whatever person, place, or thing, to respect you. You can do this, and you will. You will successfully overcome this. And I see the overwhelming joy card here, and you will experience overwhelming joy. I just pulled see another card here. You can do this. You can do this. Stay strong. Okay, I know it's starting to get a little tough, and it's easy to revert back. But I was literally just listening to a video, and they were saying how one unanswered text or whatever, one can create a whole story in their mind. And they were saying it's a video about detachment, and they were saying it's not the person that you miss, but the fantasy, the potential that you saw in the relationship, the story that you made up in your mind about said person or relationship, the fantasy that you made up in your mind. That is what you miss. And they were like, just sit with the pain, sit with the emotions, and breathe through it. Okay? So let's get some cards out. Stay strong. Stay strong. The video was also saying if you just look at the bigger picture and see the reason why you begin to separate yourself, and you just look at things for the truth. This person does not have the bandwidth to love you and care for you in the way that you need. If you go back into the situation, it's just going to be the same cycle. It's time for you to release it and to go at it alone. You can do this. You can and you will. And you will experience overwhelming joy if you just stick it out. Okay? Stay strong. And don't waver. Just go into a state of meditation. When you start to overthink things, go into a state of meditation. Just completely empty the mind and just breathe. Ashe. And you'll be able to get through the emotions much faster. Like they will melt away, and it'll help to take your mind off of things. Beforehand, it may seem like the world crashing in on you. It seems like your chest caving in on itself. And you have a visceral reaction to releasing the fantasy, because that's what you're holding on to. It's the fantasy, the story you made up in your mind about the situation. It's so easy to lose gra- uh, your grasp on reality, on the underlying triggers to this entire uh, situation. You release this person for a reason. Oh. Tell me gonna be strong. Alright, so I just pulled an African Oracle card. We have Ofun here. It says, there are times to seed, and there are times to flourish. The number is 19. Reduces to 20. Reduces to 10. 10 is a new beginning. Endings in new beginnings. Oh, let me get the book here. 19. Let's read the book description on Ofun. Okay, we got a positive aspect card. Excited to see that. We're already, maybe in the energy, what's that game where there's a group of people on one side of the rope and another people on the other side, and they're pulling. I don't know. It's nothing tag. I forget what that's called. Tug of rope. Something like that. I don't know. But you're feeling that pulling of the old, the comfortable. I didn't mention that the overall bottom of the deck card is spiritual lesson. So that's another reason why you must continue to go it alone. You can do this, you can, and you will. Another reason why you must stick to the plan. Convince yourself, be your own cheerleader. Stick to the motherfucking plan. Okay, let's read Ofun here. Okay, the regent Orishas for Ofun is Oshalufan, the older Oshala, and Obatala. Ashe and Obatala. The key words for Ofun is patient. You must be patient with yourself during this time of going against all of your urges, going against the flesh. This is a spiritual lesson that you're learning, and it's time for you to put yourself first and stop settling. The situation that you're struggling to release is a situation where you were settling. Okay? And it's time for you to release the old you, which was okay with settling. The old you that kept going back to settling. The old you that was afraid to stand on their own too. Patient and understanding. Go into that meditative state so that you can understand and go back to your why. As it says, consolidates material goods, creates and maintains long-term friendships and relationships. Okay. So that's probably another reason why you may want to try to maintain this You want this relationship to be a long-term relationship, so you're trying to hold on to it. It's this air of authority, generous, great word skill, especially spoken, intelligent, um, uh, especially spoken. Okay, so it says generous. It says great word skill, especially when spoken, intelligent, above unkindness, tendency to live many years. It says, if everyone in the world had your patience and righteousness, your greatest power is your voice. Make sure you speak life into yourself. You can do this. I can and I will overcome this. I will experience overcoming joy. Say your affirmations. Um, your greatest power is in your voice. That you speak and shut up at the right time and in the exact measure. Trust your intuition, family. If your intuition is leading you away from a situation, trust it. And I feel like your intuition's been telling you to remove yourself from the situation for a very long time. But again, it's that push and pull, that tug of rope. That is not the name of that game. Oh well. Likewise, understanding the time and pace of life and agreeing to balance your needs with the needs of others. You need to make sure your needs are being balanced and met as well. Honoring their experiences and respecting their traumas seems to be your path to enlightenment. And so I feel like Spirit is saying you don't completely have to let go of the relationship, but you do need to let go of the relationship and how it exists currently. So there may be a friends with benefit situation, just need to be friends, right? Maybe too friendly with your boss at work. You need to cut that friendship off and just be co-workers, because the blurred lines are causing unnecessary issues. It says, under the positive influence of Oduofun, your gaze communicates far beyond what words could say, and the current moment makes you a great advisor. Making people see you as a natural leader. Past experiences and future directions fit in the palm of your hand, and you know the best is yet to come. That's the overwhelming joy card we saw. The best is yet to come, but you need to take lead in this situation, because there is a great spiritual lesson that is at hand. It says, in fact, this optimism and ability to deal with the most complex situations, which is exactly what we're experiencing, because as people pleasers all of our lives, this is one of the toughest things to do, is to truly stand up for ourselves, to speak up for ourselves, and to say, no, I deserve more, and I'm not going to settle for less. We're so used to playing small. We're so used to allowing people to keep their foot on our neck if it makes them comfortable. We're so used to sacrificing ourselves, our emotions, our wants, and our needs. But there is a great spiritual lesson here in this situation that you're currently in, if you just, again, set healthy boundaries and stand firm in those healthy boundaries. You need to do this for yourself, so you can learn to trust yourself again. Okay, I felt like you built that, but then this situation comes, and it comes in a completely different avatar for the most part. For the most part, remember, it's still the same in some ways, or else we wouldn't be having to walk away from it. You know, it's a different avatar, but it pulls out the same negative emotions, and it still pulls out fear and doubt and uncertainty, inability to just truly ground and be safe and secure. It still pulls out those insecurities. So I don't know how to explain that. Same energy, just different avatar, I guess. Because in other situations, in other situations, it's blatant. That person is a flat out, you know, just fuck boy, and you already know it's a lot of bullshit with that. But this other situation is a little bit more covert. It's kind of like the good guy fuck boy. It's like you can, the tendencies are still there. It's just this other matter has more redeemable qualities, you know. So it's a little tougher to see the underhanded attacks, which may not be deliberate, but it's still an attack to your being. If it leaves you in fear, doubting, confused, you know, it lacks commitment, true commitment, to where you can trust and truly feel safe. At the end of the day, you know you cannot fully trust this person, even if you were able to have the potential and fantasy relationship with this person. There's still going to be an undercurrent of distrust, because you already see the situation from, you already have a behind the scenes view of things, and you've seen some discrepancies and participated perhaps in some discrepancies, so you know fully that you won't be able to truly rest in a relationship with said person, or said relationships, whether it's familiar, family, romantic, career. It's like, you say, you again, when it career wise, with this boss, it's like, you know, let's just be co-workers. Yeah, try to forge a relationship outside of here. Perhaps you see this person that may be a leadership, your boss may be a leader. Of course, if he's your boss, he's your leader, but, and you like, well, you guys may have thought of creating a business outside of where you guys work together, but you also see how they skimp on their work there, and you like, can I really trust this person to be a good business partner? Like, you shouldn't. But I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. But the best is yet to come. In fact, this optimism and ability to deal with the most complex situations with the understanding and tranquility of acquired wisdom is one of your greatest qualities right now. Okay? We need to deal with this complex situation with understanding, tranquility, hence the meditation and breathing through it, sitting with the emotions and breathing through them. That's acquired wisdom. And we need to apply all of those tools and qualities right now. It says, if I could give you one single piece of advice, it would be to learn how to apply this serenity from now on. Again, this is the spiritual lesson that we are learning. Remember, we have the spiritual lesson card at the bottom of the deck. Apply this serenity from now on, even in face of dangers and despairs yet to come. This is the spiritual lesson. That's why we need to be strong and stand our ground. Stand 10 toes down. And remember, keep in the forefront our why. Right? Keep in the forefront the why. It says, by looking into the past and the experiences of those who have gone before, you will be able to understand that constancy and maturity come from experience. Okay, so this situation that we're going through, that we're dealing with right now, is an experience. And we need to stay constant and consistent and true to ourselves. It says, from there, while trying to comprehend the steps taken before yours. From there, while trying to comprehend the steps taken before yours, the answers you are looking for will arrive. And you will finally pace your life's rhythm with the one that resounds all over the universe. Ashe? How about taking this time to practice empathy? After all, if you haven't reached enlightenment yet, others around you are far behind. And by humbly leading, listening, and advising them, you can learn together to truly experience the peace you so long for amid the chaos of life. So again, don't be too hard on yourself as a leader. Yes, you may not have reached that state of enlightenment, of perfectionism or whatever, but you're still far beyond other people. Everyone else, is still far behind you in where you are. So humbly lead, and you guys can learn together. Lead, listen, and advise them. You can do that. You may not have that confidence in self. You may feel that imposter syndrome because you don't have everything together, as in you hadn't reached that state of enlightenment, but you are still capable, and it is high key a responsibility of yours to lead. Okay, you are a spiritual leader here, learning spiritual lessons so that you can teach these spiritual lessons as well. You can help. You're going through it now so that you can help others through it when they come to this fork in the road or plateau. Ashe. Okay, so the main theme for this read, this is very in tune with the message and what we need to hear. And the card is lighthearted. Lighthearted. Because it's the reverse, the opposite that we feel when we start, when that text goes unanswered. When just the normal routine. When the normal routine is switched, because the normal routine may be you talking to this person all the time or at a certain time every day, and now that things are shifting and you're having to shift the situation to protect your heart, those urges to just fall back into that comfort zone weighs heavily. But we got to stay lighthearted. Again, we need to go into that state of meditation. We need to be present in the present moment. And just breathe. Make sure we're breathing through it. All right, so the first part that we're clarifying, we have you've enmeshed your energy based off of potential. God Dang it. Ain't that exactly what we said? You fell in love with the fantasy. You fell in love with the potential. It has breadcrumbs on here. This person was giving you breadcrumbs and you were okay with it because you were in love with the potential. As pedestal here, you've put this person on a pedestal. It's time to take them down, okay? Because they do not belong there. They do not have the bandwidth to carry the responsibility for the position that you have given them, okay? It says you're out of their league, even though you feel like you're not out of their league at all. It's because of all the self-doubt and the fear. Before you know what I'm saying, fell for this person, you may not have even looked their way that much. Maybe a little bit, but it was never, they may have approached you and you turned them down, and now the tables has flipped. So you never know. This whole situation, this potential, this haze that is over your eyes, these rose-colored glasses that are over your eyes, could be retaliation from you rejecting them originally. Now then they started to be conniving and start really figuring out who you are so that they can transform into that, so that you can want them, so that they can have the chance to turn you down. This could all be so simple, but you rather make it hard. But you rather make it hard. Loving you feels like a battle, and we both end up scarred. Loving this person is a battle. It's that runner chaser. But I feel like you have gotten stuck in the chaser situation because you were authentic the whole time. It was nothing conniving, no ulterior motives you had. You've always operated genuinely and from the heart. Don't know if the same could be said for this person. They could just be going through a phase and need a distraction, and you were just that. But you never do anything half-heartedly. You never do anything half-assed. And so you are true and honest about your feelings. This person could just be, just in passing. Nevertheless, the first card, we have to clarify you've enmeshed your energy based off potential. We have too good to be true. Okay? It's too good to be true, family. The illusion that this person put forth was, again, you felt like everything you've ever wanted. But this person probably told you all of the good sides of them, told you their side of the story, and it seems like, they've created a character in your head where they're too good to be true, and you're like, oh well, I'm lucky to be around you or whatever. But it says caution on this on the card. Okay, too good to be true, and you were cowering and you began to feel less than. But the next card I have in my hand is whole, healed, and oneness. You need to know that you're a whole without this person. You were healed before them, now you're having to heal again. Perhaps. And oneness, you can go at it alone. You can go at it alone. You will be just fine. You'll be okay. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and I feel like this is lifting a weight off of your shoulder, because I'm telling you, in previous times and days when dealing with this person, they, were living in your head rent free, honey. Next card, we're clarifying. We have 174 hertz, cat's purr, so you could need to listen to some frequency music and just, again, reground your energy, restabilize yourself, ground yourself, okay? Know that your bases are fully loaded, baby. You are out of their lead, okay? Time for you to snap out of it and snap back into the reality of the emperor that you are. You are out of their league. It's time to remember. Come back to remembrance, because you lost yourself in the chasing of potential. You lost yourself in the fantasy, in the entrapment. Even on this card, you've messed your energy based off potential. I have entrapment on here. Energy drain. Okay, this person entrapped you because of your innocence, because of your deeply loving, just natural self. So bases full. You need to know that your bases are fully loaded, and this is. I feel like this is the last situation that you have to deal with. This is the last test that you have to overcome. This is the last lesson that you needed to learn, because as you move into your greatness, you may have never dealt with a situation like this where you have the good guy fuck boy, and so you needed to see how that energy operates and how it can get by under the current, if under the radar. The next card to clarify, 174 cats per, we have patting self on back. Oh, putting self on back burner. Convenient for certain people. Okay? And that's what you've been doing. Your bases are fully loaded, but you've been hitting that last home run on the back burner, because you've been too focused on catering to other people. But it's time for you to release that. It's time to, you've been putting yourself on the best. It's time for you to be the lead singer. Okay? This whole reading, we just talked about you stepping into your leadership position. The next card that we're going to clarify here is you've got something more to focus on than love, than trying to make this person love you. It says focus on building yourself and learning the prosperous you. Okay? Not the you of lack, not the you that's having to chase a motherfucker and beg for their love, or beg them to love you, or prove yourself, or trying to be your your best self so that they can choose you, trying to convince them to choose you when they already want to choose you. They just know that they already know they don't have what it takes to keep you. They know once the table turns and they choose you, you're gonna start setting standards, and they're gonna have to grow, because you're not one to stay stagnant. So if you can be completely honest with yourself and ground your energy, you see this person's flaws. You know they can't handle you. You know they don't have what it takes to love you at the capacity to reciprocate, even to reciprocate the love that you give. Reciprocate the value of your energy, because again, the other people are far behind you in regards to the spiritual journey. So stand your ground. First card to clarify, you've got something more to focus on, which is building yourself, grounding yourself in this spiritual leader position. And you need to just remember to remain lighthearted. We have you can and you will, okay? You can and you will coming back out. And then we also have spying here. So know that as you release this person and you get to work, okay, building yourself and learning the prosperous you, stepping into the prosperous energy of you, not one of lack, of chasing, of, you know, doubt and fear, but tapping into the prosperous you, the one that knows you're covered, that you're protected, that you will be provided for, that you are prosperous. Come on. And the next card I turn over is Prosperity Overflow. Okay, this is coming out directly underneath. You've invested your energy based off potential. Now, once you pull your energy out of this, you will experience a prosperity of overflow of, got a dollar sign here on here, prosperity and overflow of money. Got a heart on here, prosperity and overflow of love. We have a light bulb on here, prosperity overflow of creative ideas. Wow, look at that. And the card to clarify that is life partner. Okay, so you may be you may have thought this person was a life partner, and a life partner is coming in. But we also have Go At It Alone. Remember, we saw this came out during the initial shuffle as well. So that's, you know, a bit of a dichotomy, if that's the right word, or we have life partner and then Go At It Alone. So that's completely different aspects of ends of the spectrum. But I feel like that could also just speak of you being able to, you guys, you being able to find that life partner in which you can truly still be all of who you are and without sacrificing yourself. Okay, that's the most ideal relationship. You can still be yourself and not lose yourself, but still be fully fully committed to your person. They will respect your personal space, respect the time you may need alone. And when you take that time alone, you don't feel like your relationship is in jeopardy. You know, you're fully secure in your person because they do have the bandwidth to love you in the way you need to be loved, because you are a leader. Okay? And that's on period. Alright. So we have Judgment in reverse. Feel like you have reached judgment on a certain situation. It's not, there's, you know, things can't go back to where it was. We have the Sun of Coins here, which is the card of process. You know, you plant the seed, but there's a process that it has to go through. You can't rush it. So this is just putting in the time and the patience. And then we have the Lover's card here. So Spirit says go, you're just going to go focus on yourself. You may go at it alone for, you know, a little extended period of time, but you're the lover with the Lover's card here. You will find your person. But the Seven of Knives just came out here, which is the card of, you know, lies and deceit, stealing and theft. So let's get some more. Cards out here, but that's part of the reason why we're going at it alone at this time. For one, we need to focus on ourselves and invest our energy into ourselves and loving ourselves. Okay. um the Lover's card, for me, this is an old way I used to look at this card, but it is basically you getting in tune with yourself, and truly in experiencing true marriage, which is the balancing of the divine masculine energy within you and the divine feminine energy within you. Truly balancing out those energies, and then them marrying and becoming one within yourself. Okay. And that will help you to overcome any lies, deceit, or help you to regain back the years that the locust ate away. And and we're talking figuratively. It may not, the relationship you're dealing with a specific person or whatever, sometimes it could be years or whatever, or it could have just been maybe a few months. No matter what, the time that you spent was not in vain. Okay. The years that the locust ate away will be restored. That time that was stolen from you, of you, from you not recognizing your power and playing small, that is being restored. Okay. We just got the Four of Knives in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and come on, baby. Yes, the World card in the upright. We end in cycles. And remember, I don't know if I said with the Spying card. Yeah, that person, whomever it is that you're separating your energy from, you may not be talking to them, they may not be reaching out or whatever, but best believe they're spying on you. They are not at peace. Just like you aren't. It's tough for you both. Um, and this person is feeling your absence. Don't think that they're not. You may feel like, oh, well, this person got access to so many people, um, that they're not even worried about me. They're not even thinking about me. They don't even miss me. They do. They do. And they want so badly for your walls to come down, for you to come back to them. But with the World card here, you are ending that cycle, and you have to. You have to. You cannot go back. And like I said, the World card here, you're ending that cycle, and you are evolving, and you're leveling up. We got the Six of Baskets in reverse, which is the card of reconciliation in reverse. No reconciliation. With the Father of Wands. No, with the Four of Wands. Also in reverse coming out here. And the Four of Wands is that card of twin flames and all of the things. And shit. Maybe now this person is looking at you as a twin flame. But baby, not the Four of Cups coming out here. You spend all this time chasing them. They had ample opportunity to choose you, to do right by you, to commit to you. They didn't. Okay. And now that you have called judgment on this relationship, and there's no second chances, you're not going back to the old. Now they want to offer you a cup of love, but now you're rejecting it. When you think about the for the traditional Four Cups card, is a hand holding out a cup, And this could be a test from the Most High to see if you are going to fall back into your old ways. But I, I don't see it happening. You're facing the man in the mirror. This battle is between you and you only. You, yourself, and you. Me, myself, and I. Okay? Know that your ancestors got your back. They're covering you, protecting you, empowering you. Because this is not easy. You know, you may not always be able to tap into that confidence and strength needed to keep moving forward, but you must. With the Eight of Knives here in the upright, you must protect yourself from going back into that stuck place. After the Eight of Knives, we have the Six of Knives, and I feel like, again, you will be successful in doing that. You can do this, you can, and you will, because the next card is the Six of Knives in the upright. And the Six of Knives is the card of moving on to calmer waters. Two of Wands coming after that. That is the card. That's the twos represents a choice. And the choice presented with the Two of Wands card is that of remaining stagnant or moving forward, or to keep forging your path and your journey forward instead of turning around and going backwards because of obstacles. No, this is you tapping into that Ogun energy, pulling out your machete and paving your path. If there's, you know, brush or something that is blocking your path, saying you may have to, there's a trail and a path that you're following, but now it's time for you to trailblaze your own path. And I feel like that's what you have come here to do. It's part of your life's purpose and soul mission, to forge a new path, a new and innovative path. No. And as a leader, someone here to do something innovative. When it comes to love, that could be a tricky situation. It could be a tricky matter because we already know emotions, love, relationships are the ultimate distraction. That's what they usually send to superstars or whatever when they want to begin to make that particular person fall, to entrap them. Okay? They'll send a love interest. So you just got to look at this person, this relationship, as an entrapment. This, sent by the enemy to distract you from your journey. And if you look back on the person you've been in this situation, you've only been a shell of yourself when you're around this person. Perhaps when you're around this person, you don't feel like you can be your whole, true, and authentic self. There's like, it's like you get around them and there's like a spell that's put on you, and you're stifled and you're second guessing yourself each way you turn when around this person. Okay, so you need to recognize the energy of perhaps that witch or warlock you may be dealing with that may be not as evolved as you are. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily evil, but they may not have the consciousness of their power, so they're unable to channel the energy in the way that would be most productive. You have that ability, and you don't have time to be trying to teach someone else that. Now, you can advise them on the side. That's the reason why we got to take them off of that pedestal. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Black magic is the next card that we're clarifying. And then I just say that you may be dealing with a witch or a warlock that's not conscious of their power, or they could possibly we spoke about how this you may have rejected them, and now they've tapped into their warlock witch energy and start doing black magic on you so that you can chase them and they get to reject you. You don't do anything half-hearted. You give your all. And this black magic triggered a block in your mind to the fact that you're out of that person's league, and now you reduce yourself. It happens. It happens. But it's not about the fall. It's not about the fall, but how long you stay down. Now it's time for you to pull yourself out of the muck and mire and get back on your path. Get back to forging your path and being a trailblazer with that Ogun energy, chopping down the brush and creating a path for others to follow behind you. Again, you're doing a new thing, and innovative. You're being innovative in the way that you approach life. First card to clarify black magic, we have write, burn, and release. So you may need to write down a decree or write a petition down, burn it, and release it. You need to do a ritual. Wow. The next card to clarify black magic is ignorance and ego. Whomever this person is, they operate in ego and ignorance. Again, they may not know their power, know that they're a witch or a warlock, or they may not consider themselves that. But that doesn't negate the powers that they have. A lot of people are powerful. They just don't know how to wield their weapons. I don't want to say weapons, but we wield their tools in a skillful manner with precision. Or they may be able to. No, they can wield their powers, but they just don't do it in a way that promotes integrity. If that's how I want to say that. I think that's how I want to say that. They still need to grow. There's still more enlightenment that they need. You're out of their league. Alright, so now we're just going to pick random cards from the deck, because remember, we got this personalized deck from the mother deck, and when we get our personalized deck, I always say that, every card applies to this message. So we're just going to spitfire some cards that I pull. It says spewing lies to make people hate and judge you. So this person could be gossiping about you behind your back. This could be other people, but remember to remain lighthearted and know that a spiritual lesson is being learned as you stand your ground. So Spirit, remember, stand your ground, because your bases are fully loaded. If you succeed in overcoming this situation, that is the same as hitting that home run hit, and all of your bases are able to come in for the score. Okay? After spewing lies to make people hate or judge you, we have you didn't allow them to destroy you, destroy your innocence. Ashe, exactly. You didn't allow them to destroy your innocence. And now these people are crashing out because they can no longer run from their reflection and run from what they did to you, run from the fact that they didn't choose you. They can no longer run from the fact that you know, didn't take the proper process, and so now they fucked up the situation with you. They fucked up a beautiful life with you, on a certain level. Now they have, I mean, again, it's not that you have to completely get rid of the relationship, but it is definitely um, transforming and mutating into a lesser version of what it was in your life previously. It says you made yourself so available to them, they began to take you for granted. And you need somebody that's mature enough to where you can do the same thing. The problem ain't you, okay? You need people that you can make yourself available to like that, and they don't take advantage of you. They don't see that as an opportunity to, oh well, now they're making themselves so available to me now, and I don't have to do work. I don't have to buy flowers. I don't have to do this. No, that should make you want to buy them flowers and make that should make you want to give them the world, because they are giving themselves completely and wholly unto you. But 99% of humans, they see that as, oh, I done conquered this person. Now let me just drain them for everything that they have, instead of pouring into you and returning, again, reciprocating and making themselves wholly and completely available to you as well. Next card, we have manifesting and acting on your vision. Okay, so again, you got, like the card that came out during the read, you have something more important to focus on than love, and that is manifesting and acting on your vision. You got distracted by the black magic. Make sure you do a right burn and release, um, so that you can, like, you begin to operate in ignorance and ego, because again, you hang around certain energy. That energy starts to conform you into what it needs you to be, so that they can put their foot on your neck and to keep you under control. So again, you need to release the ignorance and ego that you are operating out of as well, because you enmeshed your energy with theirs based off potential. You've enmeshed your energy with them, thinking you were going to be able to lift them up and you guys want to be able to grow together. But in you enmeshing your energy with them, you lowered your value, and now you're operating. Now it's time for you got to pull yourself back out. You need to pull yourself out and back up. So you got some work to do to regain again the time that you wasted in regain the years that the locust ate away. Regain what was lost. I just turned over the choose your battles wisely card. It says wartime on there, so you're gonna have to fight. You are going to have to fight. Okay? It says the Most High can trust you to ascend Mother Gaia. And we can look at Mother Gaia as the body. The Most High can trust you to overcome the flesh. Again, this goes into the spiritual lesson that came out here. Like it says, you expose something. So you expose something about this person. You expose perhaps the black magic. I feel like you exposed it a long time ago via your intuition, but you didn't trust your intuition at that time. You wasn't truly listening to your intuition at that time. And now you are committing to yourself. Just the way you've been wanting this person to commit to you, you need to commit to yourself. So again, remember, the things that we go through externally, the relationships, how they manifest themselves externally, is a reflection of how you treat yourself. All right. So them not committing to you is mirroring to you how you're not committing to yourself. Okay. So now that you've exposed that, it says you've exposed something. Now they see that their plan won't work. Okay. This person is naked now. They know that you see them for who they are. It says you are seemingly still because you are cellularly preparing for an upgrade. So again, things in your life may seem like it's not moving, and you may again come into a still point in your life where it's quiet because you have released and you have purged a lot of stuff. You've purged a lot of relationships. So yes, it's going to get real lonely, seemingly lonely at times, but you got to weather the storm, sit with the energy, breathe through it. Okay. The next card, it says nurture self-awareness and wait patiently with optimism for the tide to turn. Ashe, ashe. Another more great advice of what to do when you're in the stillness, when you are exercising patience with the heartbreak of having to release certain people, places, or things. It says you'll be more than ready when it does. You'll be more than ready when the tide turns, when that life partner actually come in. Remember, we had go at it alone and then life partner. So for a minute you may have to go at it alone, and that during this time you need to nurture self-awareness and wait patiently with optimism for the tide to turn. And as you do that, you continue to grow yourself and prepare yourself so that you can be ready when the tide turns. You can be ready when your life partner does show up, okay? Because remember, we have this prosperity overflow card. So this is about you choosing your battles wisely. The next card, it says one-sided or one-way thought about a chosen. Oh, no. Okay, I read that wrong. Ooh. Oh, this is your ancestors saying, look, if you buck to these motherfuckers, okay, that's trying to come against you, perhaps with this black magic. Spirit says, yes, you pulling your energy away, but these people better not act a fool. They better not act stupid when it comes to you and try to retaliate or nothing, because it says one sideway thought about you, okay? One sideway thought about the chosen can get you incarcerated spiritually. If these people start thinking sideways on you, and if they doing, if they try to, or if they continue, or if they spew lies to make people hate and judge you, or whatever, because they're crashing out because of their actions, and they try to, again, gossip about you, it's going to get them spiritually incarcerated. It's going to get them fucked up spiritually. And it says, want you to be grateful for their breadcrumbs and half-ass attempts, gaslighting, fucking audacity. They mad. That's the reason, if they do have, they may have these sideways thoughts about you because, again, they mad, big mad energy. Because you're not accepting their breadcrumbs anymore. You can't survive off breadcrumbs. You're going to end up wasting away and dying of starvation. Okay? They may threaten to walk away. And you like, fuck you. You can have, I don't want, bye. Bye, Felicia. Okay, so the December card just came out here. We have waiting in vain. Remember, we were saying all that time you spent was not in vain. And, you know, you're definitely no longer waiting in vain. You're definitely no longer waiting for permission. You're definitely no longer waiting on people to see your value. No, you are manifesting and acting on your vision yourself. Remember, you got something more important to focus on than a love relationship with someone that cannot be what you need them to be. They cannot support you in the way that you need to be supported. Okay? So right now, you need to be in the energy of flow, in the energy of patience. This card is even saying too attached. Okay, the timing is wrong for you to try to focus on love right now. Divine timing is at hand, so all you need to do is just be in the present moment. You need to flow, you need to be patient, and not be too attached to whatever is going on at this time. Look, the next card says internal growth demands external shifts as well. So that's why things are shifting around you externally in regards to relationships, perhaps even physically in regards to a home situation or whatever. Things are shifting externally because of the internal growth that is happening. It says wounded soul has gained its regenerative power. Exactly. That's the internal growth that has happened. That internal growth is that the wounds within you've healed. And you've tapped into your regenerative power. And now you can see through the sweet nothings. The sweet nothings card just came out. You can see through the sweet nothings that these people offer you. As we went back, as we're, towards the beginning of the read and saying how you guys had a routine where you may have talked every day, you realizing or talked often that those if you look back on those conversations, did they really speak to your soul on a deep level? I want to say it's somewhat impossible for that to happen if they're not operating within the bandwidth necessary. But anyway, if they try to come back around, you see through the sweet nothings, come in with a false apology, or with an apology that has no worth, has as much worth as a penny with a hole in it. Godly. The soul family card just came out, but after that it says when you stay longer than needed, you will be in a constant state of healing, heartbreak. And that's that again with the wrong time here. That's exactly what happened. You stayed longer. You spent your time the wrong way. You stayed longer than you needed to. And if you look back over the relationship, this card is tells no lies. It's just been a cycle of healing heartbreak. But once you come out of that, the overwhelming joy card is coming back out again. Once you surrender to self-love and surrender low self-esteem, an overwhelming joy will overtake you. But remember, it's going to take time. So in this time of patience and stillness, again, remember to nurture self-awareness and wait patiently with optimism for the tide to turn. You'll be more than ready when it does. It says the power within you is divine protection. The energy within you, the blessings within you is divine protection, because you have a purpose here. Okay? And so Spirit says you're going to fulfill this purpose, whether you like it or not. And it's not, you definitely want to, so we're not going to even say the not. But I feel like once you overcome this situation that you're currently going through and learn a spiritual lesson, the blessings are going to come in, and there's no way you can stop it or get in the way of it. You can doubt it all you want, it's still going to come in. And that's just that agape love. Okay, the card is the reciprocity up to par. It may not be with people on the 3D level, but on the 5D level, you're about to start feeling that reciprocity come towards you. The next card, you can do this. This is coming back out again. Eyes are on you. So remember, you can do this. Eyes are on you. People may be looking up to you again as that leadership position. Think of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is like what a preacher or a priest, when they, you know, give their messages. Where are they? On a stage, exalted behind an an altar or pedestal or whatever. What is that little box that people have their hand on and the microphone be on? That's not a pedestal. That's, I forget what it's podium. They stand behind the podium, but they're exalted, right? So eyes are on you. It's like you are on the stage and people are watching you. You can do this. Don't allow imposter syndrome to take over. You're not an imposter. You're not an imposter. Your trajectory is forward and upward. Okay? Respect on your name. People about to put some respect on your name. And the next card that came out is teach them to respect you. That came out again. That was in the pre-shuffle as well. Once you put respect on your name, then you're gonna that's you teaching people to respect you. But you gotta respect you. You gotta be able to trust that you can walk away and that you will, from situations that hurt or harm you, whether physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. All of the leads. To know that you're strong enough to walk away, strong enough to, once you get to the point where you trust your intuition. You need to trust your intuition. No matter what. You may not have all the facts, but you are spiritually inclined, and you need to trust in your gifts. Trust in how you feel about certain people upon meeting and talking to them. You have that ability to read people upon just looking at them. Trust in that ability and walk away. You didn't trust that before. That's the reason why you stayed longer than you needed to in the past, but you're becoming that leader that won't do that. You're becoming the person that your inner child can rely on, to trust, and can feel safe in. The next card says fear is a tool used to paralyze you. We're overcoming fear. It says the next card, you can shift your reality with your thoughts. Remember, nurture self-awareness and wait patiently with optimism until the tide turns. Your thoughts need to be shaped and formed in optimism. Look, the next card I pulled out, chronic negativity. You can't operate. If you operate in chronic negativity, know that your reality will shift into that direction. Nurture self-awareness and wait patiently with optimism for the tide to turn. Sit with the emotions, sit with whatever it is, and breathe through it. Be present in the moment. And know that the tide will turn, and when it does, you will be more than ready. It says you're only waiting on you. That's the next card. It's literally the card that I just pulled. You're only waiting on you. You are the person you've been waiting for. You are the leader that you've been saying you needed, or you are the leader that you wanted. Okay? You're waiting on you. The next card that I just pulled out is the world is still running its old program, but you've exited it. Okay? The world is still running on the old program. You've exited. That's the reason why the only person that you're waiting on is you, because you are forging a new path. You have to, because the old frequency is done. Mother Earth has increased her frequency and has shifted her paradigm, and there's a lot of people still operating on that old energy. You can't look to other people. You can only look to yourself, because you are the trailblazer and the leader of this new age, one of the leaders of the new age, the chosen. And it's not that you are better than anyone else. You chose the narrow path. You chose to face the shadow and the darkness, while the world wanted to ignore it. You are one of the few that refuse to ignore the shadow. Dark attachments card I just pulled. You are one to refuse to ignore the dark attachments, and you face them head on. You don't run from the man in the mirror. The next card says, by simply living your truth, you expose lies. By simply living your truth, you expose people's dark attachments. Remember, all eyes are on you. I didn't read this card. I pulled it but didn't read it. It says, sit still in the center of the hurricane. So that's again speaking to that stillness, sitting with it. So there may be a lot of chaos going on around you, but remember, one of the most calmest places on earth is the center of the hurricane or the tornado. If you ever looked at the movie Twister, it tells you how heavenly the center, the very center of a tornado is. Okay? Sit still in the center of the hurricane. Don't try to judge the situation as good or bad. Be neutral. Emotional detachment. Okay? There's chaos going on in the world as people are still running on the old program. That is kind of that symbolic hurricane or tornado. But you just need to center yourself, still yourself, in optimism, and just breathe through it as you manifest and act on your vision and create the life that you want. Remember, lighthearted was the main theme for this entire read. Yes, things may be chaotic, but remain light-hearted. Okay? I just pulled the next card. It says you are indestructible. Let your weird flag fly. Stop hiding yourself and playing small. I want to go back to that old phone card. It's funny, I flipped right to it. There was a specific part on there. I think it was in this message here. Yeah. It says, if I could give you one single piece of advice, it would be to learn how to apply this serenity, this optimism, this lightheartedness, this knowing that you're whole and healed, knowing that you are not operating in imposter syndrome, but you are stepping into position because that's where you're supposed to be. Serenity. Having going into when stuff is chaotic around you, tapping into that state of meditation, that stillness, right? That serenity. One piece of advice, it would be to learn how to apply the serenity from now on, even in the face of dangers and despairs yet to come. Remember this, how to find this stillness. Remember how to find this serenity. Remember, that's the reason why you're going through this right now. Remember, bottom of the deck, the spiritual lesson. This is a lesson that you need to carry with you. What does it say? You need to learn how to apply. This is a lesson that you need to learn how to apply. From now on, even in the face of dangers and despair, in the face of these dark attachments, in the face of the old world still running its old program, but you've exited. You put in your 2 weeks to the old earth and stepping into new earth. All right, family. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. Hope they helped in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I am doing the most with these long ass reads. But it is what it is. But anyway, I love you all, and until next time, peace.